Let's go to our reporter Paul Hawkins. He joins us this morning from Hungary, near to the Luzanka border crossing. Very good morning to you, Paul. Look, this is day 14 of the invasion. You've moved from Poland, where you spent several days now, into Hungary. What's the contrast that you're seeing? How is Hungary coping with this influx of people and supporting Ukrainians?
Yeah, morning, Isabel. Morning, Eamon. It's interesting. Hungary is coping with it. I mean, we got to that border, the Luzanka border crossing, last night, expecting to see similar scenes to the ones we've been showing you in Poland. And frankly, you wouldn't even know there was a refugee crisis happening. There was no one there, and so we thought, wow, OK, and maybe you should expect that, given the number of refugees who've come from Ukraine to Hungary is 203,000, way smaller than the number that Poland is handling. But the Hungarian authorities do have a fairly smooth process in order. Refugees are taken away from the border, they're brought to registration centres like this once their papers are cleared at the border. This one here is in Berekzsarán. It's about 5 kilometres from the border. It's been set up, really. This is a cultural centre, and I mean, you can see here some wheelchairs and kids' seats that have been donated. Over here there's some apples and some other boxes with more aid inside, and in fact inside, we were here last night. Let's just show you very quickly. This is a cultural centre, Hungarian cultural centre, that's been commandeered to help with the refugee problem. This has arrived from Sardinia. Some guys in a van from Sardinia have dropped all these boxes off overnight. You could move in here up to sort of near the wall, but overnight all this has come in from Sardinia. So people bringing aid here from across Europe. Just be careful, Jim, as you're walking backwards, and there's a flight of steps. We don't want an accident. So people bringing aid from all across Europe, as we've been seeing previously. So, you know, from Germany, as we saw in Poland, from France, etc. And there are buses heading over here from the UK. I know that for a fact myself. I haven't seen them here, but I know that they are on the way. We're going to speak now to some Nigerian students, because, of course, not everyone who's coming through from Ukraine is a Ukrainian national. These guys are students from Sumy, the city of Sumy, and we can talk to one of them now. What's your name?
Damien.
Damien. And Damien, you were studying economics in Sumy?
Yeah, management.
Right. Just tell us what it was like there.
It was hell. That's the one word I will use for it. It was hell. And people were actually confused, scared, and I'm telling you, people are scared in their home. I mean, in their home. I'm not going to talk about us being the foreigners there, but people were scared in their home. Scared to go to sleep, scared to do anything. We literally have to be on the run every moment. I've been wearing this for over 5 days now. Not pulling off. Even if I take a shower, I still get to wear this with my shoes, because even if you get to open the door, there's this fear in everybody. There's this fear in each and every one of us that anything can happen. We've experienced some bombings. Some days we wake up by bombings. Some nights we'll just have to, every night we'll go to bomb shelters. That's where we sleep. That's where bomb shelters it's in the cold. There is no heater there. The electricity went out. They actually bombed out a power plant. So the electricity was going off and on. The water supply was dirty. So if you didn't have any water stored up, you just have to drink it. No other options. The food was running out. The whole thing was just we were just living in fear. That's the whole thing. So it was really hell.
Yeah. And you were telling me that you saw, what did you see as you were evacuated?
Oh, okay. During the process of the evacuation, we were actually the first batch to be evacuated by the Red Cross. So on our way out, we saw a sophisticated armor tanks. I'm telling you, in different sizes, different forms. The bigger ones and the smaller ones. So we were evacuated, and on the way out, we saw about 50 or more
50 more armoured Russian vehicles. And you said that you saw them, or you heard about them firing on the second bus.
Like I said, we were like the first batch out. So when we got out, I have a few friends that were like on the second batch of the evacuation bus. So I called some of them on the way. They told me they got fired on.
And you haven't heard from your friends since?
I haven't heard from them. I haven't heard from any of them. There were three numbers. I haven't heard from any of them yet.
Right.
So I have to just assume the best and also the worst at the same time.
Yeah. And you're on your way to Austria now to be with your brother?
Yes, I'm on the way to Austria now. Most of us are actually going back home, and we don't have any other options.
A lot to take in, a lot to process.
A lot, like a lot, a whole lot. But we're holding up.
Yeah,
we're holding up.
Good to talk to you, Damien. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Damien. Actually, just very quickly, just come to this man, gentlemen. Just very quickly, just tell us what you've been through.
Okay. Basically, we wake up to explosions every other day, and it's very hectic running from the apartment, because we used to live in an apartment off school, and it had like a bomb shelter under, but the last power plant that blew, because they attacked the power plant and it struck, and there was like total blackout for a couple of hours, no access to internet, no access to water. We're basically left in the dark, and it's been crazy. And because of how intense it was, we had to move from where we live to the hostel. The hostel is in the school premises, and there it's presumably a lot safer because there's also a shelter there, and the school authorities basically. So, and there are more people there. So, we've not had clean shower in days, no good food, no anything, not even to talk about sleep. So it's really been very, very crazy to say the least. Exhausting mentally, physically, and otherwise. But thank God we're alive. That's what counts the most.
Yeah. And where are you on your way to?
Sorry?
Where are you heading to?
Right now we're going to Hungary. We're going to Budapest, sorry.
Going to Budapest, and then onwards to... Are you going back to Nigeria or somewhere else?
We're trying to figure it out now, because some of us, we just came here to school, and we're like our own sponsors. So we're trying to do it by ourselves. So one step at a time, we'll take it one step at a time. Let's get some sleep, probably good food, and then think it through.
Yeah. Great. Sorry, what's your name?
My name is Randy.
Thank you, Randy. Really good to talk to you. Take care. They're going off to head off on the bus. 226 people stayed here overnight. They're making their onward journey like those guys we were talking to. And the interesting thing is that Hungary, for the last 10 years, Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister, he's pushed a very anti-immigration, anti-refugee hard line. He opposed Ukraine's membership of the European Union, moved Hungary closer to Russia. This invasion of Ukraine has put him in a very difficult position, and is a general election in a month's time. So the country very much doing a U-turn when it comes to how it deals with refugees, how it deals with migration, and you know, it's caused a bit of a problem for him politically, Viktor Orban, who, according to the polls at the moment, has a very narrow lead over his opponent, and they go to the polls in about a month's time here.